Obsession. What a film. Just gonna throw that out there. What a film. Incredible performances, incredible direction work from indie director Curry Barker. Insane cast. It's been one of my favourite films of the whole year. It's done extremely well in the box office. I think it's earning over $406 million right now, which is insane for a film that was made on a $750,000 budget. So it's done really well for what it is. There's a lot of weird things being told about online. Most specifically, this little animated guy, I'm not gonna say his name, put out a really interesting and distasteful sort of review of the film. He kind of just talks about the plot, but then he throws in these weird opinions, these weird jabs. There's a lot of disgusting sexual comments about Indy Navarrete.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
There's a lot of siding with Burr, which I think the whole point of the film is not to do that. There's a lot of discourse online, and there's a lot of things that I don't really understand where people are coming from. But my personal review of the film was it was amazing. It's an easy 10 out of 10 for me. The experience you get from watching that film, when you haven't heard anything about it, you don't know what you're expecting, you go in the cinema for the first time, you sit down. I went with one of my close friends and we watched it. It was close to opening weekend. It wasn't long after the film had come out that we went and watched it. It was a fairly not empty cinema, but we were quite at the back in our own little sort of booths. Just that initial experience of watching that film is so unreal. Words can't really describe it. It is just that good. My biggest takeaway is the performances. The direction as well is insane. The fact that this is Curry Barker's, I think, second feature film, but the first feature film to go anywhere or do anything. And it's insane. The work he's put into it, the work that you see when you watch it, it's not really like any other experience you can have when watching a film in the cinemas. There's a few films that I would really compare to watching it, and it's a shame that some of the reviews coming in there lowballing the film, saying it's basic, saying there's nothing substantial in it. There's a lot of, again, people starting with Burr.
No. What?
There's a lot of random theories out there. Someone saying Nikki got possessed by his dead cat.
The entity that's possessing Nikki is not a succubus, and it's not the personification of Bear's deep desires, but it is, in fact, the spirit of his dead cat, Sandy.
Which is a really weird take. I'm not sure where you got that one from. It's not what I got from the film, but film's always up for interpretation. So if that's what you're getting from the film, it's not what I got. But yeah, there's tons of things to talk about. There's a few things that I want to go over. Firstly, how huge of a step this is for independent cinema. We're finally moving away from that sloppy, I want to say AI, just awful CG nonsense that Hollywood's been putting out lately. Like even the big animation studios are putting out lately. There's been a lot of things in the last 5 to 10 years that don't really have any substance to it. And for someone who's studied film at university, who watches a lot of films, reviews a lot of films, that kind of thing, it's been hard to have an emotional reaction to something where you watch something and you go, that sucks, or you're just blown away by the performances. And this film is one of those films that makes you feel something. And there's a few films to throw in that circle of films that are doing something so well for the industry that's going to change how the industry works. Backrooms by Kane Parsons is one. I'd put Iron Lung by Markiplier in that conversation. We're finally seeing filmmakers who haven't spent years and years of their life being a filmmaker, or they don't know everybody in the industry, or they weren't a filmmaker in the 70s. They're young people, they're up and coming. Some of them have their own audiences that they bring to the cinemas with them, and it's so interesting to see that we're now getting this new wave of talent, a new wave of films being made that kind of reflect real struggles and real feelings that we have now. I think the biggest thing about Obsession is this nice guy persona, this nice guy wave that we have of people out there that exist that are like Bear, where there's people who sort of view people as not actually people, as something that they can obtain or get. They have an idealized version of relationships or people or how things work, and it's a genuine struggle and fear that a lot of women face, that Nikki sort of goes through. And obviously you have the supernatural element and layer over the top of that, but a lot of it is just essentially a man taking advantage of someone. We know from the get-go that he's not really a nice person, and he doesn't really care about things. Like his cat dies, and within a short montage of him cleaning up its dead body and putting it into a bin bag, he's already on Instagram scrolling through Nikki's Instagram. He's already thinking about her. He's already stalking her. It's instantly weird from the get-go. A big takeaway about Bear's character is that he doesn't care. He doesn't really love Nikki. He never really loved his cat. He only cares about him. He cares about his experience. He cares about his life. I think that's what's so well portrayed and well done in the film, is that you kind of feel for him, but at the same time this is his own bed that he's made. I think, in my opinion, he realizes it's a wish very early on in the film. I mean, from the get-go of him making the wish. The fact that he has so many opportunities to turn around to Nikki and go, you know what, this is weird. You've never acted this way towards me. What's going on? Maybe we shouldn't. This kind of feels like a breach of trust. There's never really that sort of thought or idea. He gets weirded out and then he just goes along with it.
Wait, what the?
What the? Are you okay?
I'm acting so weird. This is so weird.
Like, he knows constantly that he's in the wrong, and he goes along with it anyway. And I think Indy's performance is outstanding. She's easily the highlight of this film for me. She does so much. She carries this film, in my opinion. She captures that innocence in the start, and she has a real personality at the start. And then when you see that stripped away, and you have Wish Nikki, it's such a jarring contrast that you can't not think of them as separate.
My eyes out of my skull and shove the barrel of my.
And her as Wish Nikki is incredible. Easily a top 5, possibly even number 1 horror actresses of all time. I think a lot of the times in a lot of horror films, women are often the victims, and she absolutely is a victim in this. Burr is 100% the real villain. But in terms of horror aspect and horror scariness, if that's a word, her uncanny performance. I think the choice to do things practically
Now.
is such an amazing choice. I'm so glad they didn't use CG or effects really at all. It was all done on set, in person, which I think you need because the film deals with such a real topic that it needs that real aspect to it. It needs things done practically. It needs the sets to be real. It needs the costumes to be real. It needs the characters to be real. Now, a big thing I want to point out about this film is the male gaze. I think the purpose of this film is to clear comment on that. And you see that through Nikki's outfit as we progress throughout the film, especially during the party scene.
I'm so sorry.
It's a very revealing outfit. It's a very eye-catching outfit, and it's meant to be that, right? It's intentionally putting her in this perspective where people are watching her. Let's talk about what I like and I dislike about this movie. There's not a lot I dislike. Maybe pacing a little bit. I didn't like as much. I think it slows down in some places and we drag on for a little bit too long, or we speed sort of through things and there's things that you might miss. But I think that's why second and third watches are so important in films. Going back and looking at the film and going, oh hey, I missed that bit, or I didn't get that part, but now I've seen it. A big one for me is finding out Curry was the voice on the phone.
Do you want to talk to her?
What? Who?
You want to talk to her?
Who is that?
Nikki?
Didn't get that the first time. The second time I caught it, I was like, wait, I recognize that voice. And he has such a nice cadence to his voice where he's weirdly funny just from having like an average conversation, which I liked. I think it makes that scene so much better. But let's talk about what I like, because that's pretty much everything in this film. The premise is nice. I think it's such a simple idea and it works so well. And I think that's important to have in films, is to have such a simple concept and then turn it into something that keeps you interested for 2 hours.
So it's a romance.
No, it's not a romance, it's a love story.
Isn't that the same thing?
I feel like films these days overcomplicate the plots. They try and fit in so many different little nuances and little side plots and different things to bring you back in the end, and it just doesn't need that. And this film shows that you don't need that. I mentioned the costumes, the sets, both incredible. It feels lived in, it feels like a person's home. Everything feels unique to the characters, which I like. And it makes the sets especially, it makes you feel like this whole thing is happening in this like small little corner of the world, small town, tight-knit community, that sort of thing. I'm pretty sure the whole film was filmed in LA, I could be wrong, which is incredible. You don't even feel like you're in the place that you're actually in. But this film has been probably my favourite film so far of the year. There's still things to come. We've got Dune Part 3 on the way. We've got The Odyssey on the way by Christopher Nolan. So I'm sure both of those are going to be amazing. We've got the Avengers, we've got Spider-Man, we've got everything that you could possibly want. So we're eating good this year. But this has been my favourite so far. I just love how uncomfortable the film makes you. I love how unsettling everything is. I love how uncanny everything is. And nothing really beats that first time watching it. I'm even the second time, I still had the same thoughts, and I still got the same feeling and the same reaction to the jump scares and things like that the second time around, even though I knew it was coming. And I think a lot of that helps with the cinema experience. Where you go and watch these films, how many people you go and watch it with. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say for this video. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of the film, what your opinions were. I'd love to hear them. And let me know what films you want to hear me review next. I have a few things in the works, so be sure to look out for that. I hope you enjoy those. Other than that, I think that is it for me. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.